All right. It's probably an adequate time to go ahead and start, right?
Yeah, man. I'm loose.
All right.
Dude, no, so I was talking to my dad. My dad, like, when I saw him last time, was like, he'd been drinking a little bit, and he's like, man, he's like, you gotta do more of those mixed race jokes. You gotta talk about having black family more. That's great stuff, man. He's like, And then he was like, he'd had enough to drink that he started calling me brother. He's like, come on, brother. You gotta do more of that stuff, brother. I tell you. And he was getting so hyped. He's like, oh, I got stories for you, brother. And my mom was like, honey, why do you keep calling him brother? And I was like, I don't know. But it's funny.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I was so hype on it.
That is weird. It's brother.
I don't know. He was hard R-ing me.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
He hard R-worded me.
Man, I hope my girlfriend's dad isn't like my kid's mom's dad.
Black?
Nah, he is, but whenever I would be over there, whenever I'd be over there, like,
dude, I'm sorry. It was right there.
I'd just be over there like spending the night or whatever, like this years ago, 4 or 5 years ago, and just be over there like spending the night, whatever, when like both the kids were little infants, and we'd just be like sitting there watching Ninja Turtles, and like you just hear in the other room, like he'd be listening to biographies and like the white man, those lizard people, like.
Oh, was he a black Israelite?
I don't know.
Dude, that's like a whole subsect of thing of like a thinking. Like there's a whole like I love conspiracies that are like, oh hell yeah, like black conspiracy theories are the best, because like the biggest ones, like I tried to talk about it on stage one time and nobody was on board with it, and I'm like, maybe I should keep trying this premise. But there's like
they don't want to accept it.
Dr. Yakub, he said that all white people were created in a lab.
Dude, no, they're not created in a lab. They're Nephilim.
No, the Nephilim are from, you know what that's from?
It's from the Bible.
Yeah, so all the angels that came down that wanted to fuck women, they came down and they had sex with mortal women, and all their babies that were born were the Nephilim. They were like
shit, son.
So they were like bigger than everybody else, but they were like bloodthirsty. Like they would just be fucking ripping people up and beating the shit out of people. They were
before or after the sex?
No. The angels that came down from like, they came down and they fucked normal ladies.
Yeah.
And their kids were the Nephilim. And then they would grow up. When they grew up, they had like no fucking compassion. And they're just beating the shit out of people and killing people and ripping them up and raping women and stuff.
Huh. Because they didn't have a strong father figure?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's sounds about right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, dude, I know it's weird. My mom's a Jehovah's Witness, and I was like raised around that shit for like years. So like it's crazy because when people start talking to me about like the Bible, I can actually like, dude, I can bob and weave like a pretty good amount when it comes to Bible shit.
Yeah.
Dude, first time I had a gun pulled on me was when I was knocking on doors.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, I was like 10 or 11, and we were out in field service, which is where they like, you know how everybody's like, oh, them Jehovah's Witnesses came to my house this weekend. Yeah, I was the kid. So I'd have to go to school after, like, I'd go to school on Mondays, and like kids in my class would be like pointing at me and be like, dude, he was knocking. He showed up at my house this weekend.
And my dad pointed a gun at him?
No, so what happened was I went up to this house and I knocked on it had like a wooden screen door that had like slats in it.
Right.
So I knocked on the door and like nothing. Then I rang the bell. And when I rang the bell, I just heard like a shotgun rack. I just heard shh, shh.
There we go.
And
you stayed to wait around.
Immediately, I knew what it was.
Oh.
And they were like, you got 3 seconds to get off my porch or I'm going to blow your head off. And I was like, okay. Have a good one. And I just left.
So you waited for them to open the door?
No.
Oh, okay.
As soon as that dude told me he was going to fucking blow my head off, I was like, all right, I'm good. Then when I got back to the car, so like houses that they're like, don't fucking come back. Don't talk to us. Like you have to like put in like that's a no contact house.
It's like the do not call registry.
Yeah. But it's for like door knocking. So you basically are like, no, don't go there. These headphones are heavy as fuck. They make me feel like I got Down syndrome. They're like pulling my shit back.
Yeah. Keep your head up, little Downs boy. Show everybody your belly button here. Oh, man. There you go.
I really hope after we look back at this, there's no like lint in my stomach either.
There probably will be. Isn't that a Jehovah Witness holiday?
Jehovah Lintness.
Yeah. Lint
Truffles.
Lint truffles.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
What does that mean?
That's a brand of truffles, dog.
Lint truffles.
Lint.
Oh, LINDT.
Yeah, LINDTF truffles.
Yeah. Those things fuck.
Nah, dude. Yeah, fucking. That was like my childhood for years, as I was like raised Jehovah's Witness and shit.
I went to Christian school, like Christian Baptist school, up through the first half of 5th grade. I got halfway through, 5th grade? I got like halfway through like 5th grade or something. I was like, you know what? I don't want to do this anymore.
That's crazy. I got kicked out.
Yeah?
Yeah, I got kicked out. So like when Jehovah's Witnesses, it's weird. So like when I started, I was like old. I was in middle school, and like at a certain point, they were like, "All right, you're gonna go up, and we're gonna like." It's like a privilege. So like in the fucking like it's the Kingdom Hall. It's not a church. It's a Kingdom Hall. But like at a certain age, they're like, "We're gonna have you go up and speak to the congregation." Like, so they'd give you like a section of the Bible, and they're like, "You got to read this passage." So it'd be like Genesis 1 through like book, your like first chapter, like verse whatever through whatever, and you'd have to read that whole section. And I would have to write like an introduction, read the section of the Bible, and then like closing statement or whatever. I would have to do that like once every couple months. But like the first time they come up to you, it's like supposed to be a privilege, and you're like, oh shit, I got drafted. You know what I mean? Like to the majors, it's like a big deal. And when I got older, I like.
Wait, the Jehovah's Witness has a draft?
No, I was just like it was just trying to like relate it to something.
Oh.
But I got picked, you know what I mean? They're like, you're going to go up and talk. I'm like, oh, cool. Like, it's like a thing. Like all the families, like when you get picked to do that, it's like an honor. Like you're like, it's like you get like, oh man, people are like, oh, that's awesome. But, when I got older, I started growing, like when I started growing like facial hair and shit, I had a beard, and the elders were like, hey, you gotta cut your beard. And I was like, no, I don't want to. And they're like, no, you have to. So like I was like 15, and I was like, no, that's dumb. I'm not going to do that. And they're like, you have no choice. I was like, you guys know that like everybody in the Bible had a beard, right?
And they were like, that's not what this is about?
Yeah, basically they were like, yeah, but it's different. They said my Bible, my beard wasn't like well kept.
Yeah, it's not a biblical beard.
They said my beard was messy and it wasn't well kept. So if I wanted to continue like giving talks, I had to cut it or I was done.
No more talking for you?
Yeah, I was just like, all right, well then, no, I'm good. And then I like double grew my beard just out of spite.
And then what happened? You got really strong like Samson?
You know, I used that as a reference. That when they were like, you got to cut your beard, I was like, I was like, a man's strength is tied to his hair. I was like, look what happened to Samson. He let that lady cut his hair, and then he lost all his manhood. He lost his strength. And I was like, if I let you guys do that to me, then I lose my manhood.
Yeah.
And they were pissed. They're like, it doesn't work like that. And I was like, it did in the Bible.
Hey, I don't know, man.
Dude, I was just young and like just ADD enough that I was like, no, dude, I'm gonna question this.
Damn, that's crazy.
And they weren't about it.
They made me be clean shaven when I worked at McDonald's some years and years ago.
Now look at them.
Yeah.
They don't give a fuck.
You know what's crazy is like that being clean shaven would be at the top list of their priorities.
Right? Isn't that weird?
Like, wouldn't you rather be like, I don't know, sell some hot food and then get at me?
That's what I'm saying, bro. These fries are gonna be cold as fuck and mushy through the middle, but at least you don't have a beard.
My favorite thing about working at McDonald's is all the people that were like, I want all this food to be fresh. And I'm like, damn, I got to give it to them fresh now because they asked.
That's such a weird life hack.
Isn't it?
When people are like, dude, you got to tell them I need no salt for the fries. That's what it is.
Dude, I have a friend that does that, and he'll go around. He'll be like, "I want, can I get fries with no salt?" And then he'll get around the window, and they'll be like, "Yeah, can I get you anything else?" And he'll be like, "Yeah, some salt."
Yeah, it's such a scumbag move because it's like, dude, you know that you're only doing it so that they make fresh fries.
Yeah,
And they know you're only doing it, so they have to make you fresh fries.
there's no way around that. But what are they gonna do? You know, the thing of it is, though, is like they salt them in a thing. You're getting salt on your fries,
Bro, but I tell you what, I posted about it on Facebook, but when their fries are right there, dude, they're the best.
Oh yeah,
You can't, dude, I don't give a fuck what anybody says. You can't beat McDonald's fries when they're like how they're supposed to be.
you know who else has really good fries? And like nobody knows this really, but Hardee's.
Dude, yeah.
Their fries and chicken tender, man, those tenders are good.
I like their chicken sandwich.
Okay,
That spicy chicken, like the thin joint.
they did. Everybody has a chicken sandwich now.
But they've had that for years. I'm saying from like
Oh,
years
really?
and years ago. Yeah. Just like you know how like McDonald's has like their McChicken?
yes,
Yeah, Hardee's had one like that. It's like that like chicken patty, but it's spicy and they've had it forever.
oh, so it's not like a,
No, it's not like the Popeyes one.
it's not like a fancy chicken sandwich.
No, but it's like, yeah, it's like grimy, but it's so good.
Yeah.
My buddy and I, when I was I had like graduated high school, so I was like maybe like 19. I had been out of school for a couple years, and my buddy was like a little bit younger than me. He was like, dude, let's go to Hardee's, and I'm like, all right, cool. And he like went up to the counter and showed them his school ID and got free fries and a drink. And he was like, yeah, if you show them your school ID, they'll just give you free fries and a drink. And I was like, oh, dude, that's dope. So I showed them my old high school ID from like 3 years prior. And they were just like, okay, here you go.
Why were you hanging out with high schoolers?
He was like a year or two younger than me. And he had also graduated.
All right, I believe you. It makes sense. It checks out.
It tracks, dude.
You weren't 21 hanging out with 16-year-olds.
Nah. Nah.
Oh, man. Fun times. So, you know what? Let's talk about what I really wanted to talk about, what you really wanted to talk about. Let's talk about this special
Let's
coming out.
give them something to talk about. Yeah, dude. All right, yeah. So, you want to talk about the special?
I do want to talk about the special.
All right, let's go.
So, like... I don't know. I never made a special. I guess you'd have to talk about it.
I like how you paused for so. You're like, I want to talk about it.
I buffered.
You had to load. It's like when you get to the end of the map in a video game, you gotta wait for the rest of it to load.
Yeah, it said error data is corrupted.
You were leaving the mission, bro. I saw you leave the mission.
I almost did.
Turn back. Turn back.
Yeah.
Yes. So,
No, but really, I guess what I mean is just like talk about like, I don't know. I mean, really what you want to talk about, plug your stuff, but like what, you know, stuff that like goes into a special, like what made it harder than, you know, when you started getting into it, you were like, oh shoot, like this is like more on this end than I thought, or more on something, you know, just like the effort and really everything that goes into putting out a special and not just putting out some bullshit.
So it's all, in all seriousness, it has all been way more drawn out than what I thought it was going to be at all for the entire process.
Yeah.
The show happened July 17th of last year.
Right.
That show date had been booked for like 4 months leading up to that show.
Right.
And I spent all that time like promoting and doing all this extra shit. And in the process, I met our buddy Carlos.
Right.
Green. It was Green Media, but now it's green.mov on Instagram. The homie just hit 1,000 follows. He just
nice.
he just broke 1,000 today. But at a certain point, he started showing up to Kazi's and started shooting stuff for everybody, like at the club. He's like shooting people's sets. And then, you know, me and him had talked about it, and I told him I was getting ready to record the special. And originally the idea was just that I wanted to record a crowd work album.
Right.
And it wasn't really until Carlos came into the picture that he was like, dude, let me shoot it. I'll shoot it and we can make it like an actual special.
You were only going to do audio, just like an
was-
Apple Music thing.
I was just going to do just audio.
Right.
And Carlos came into the picture and really kind of changed the whole game, bro.
Right.
I went into it and I was like, this is the show. This is when it is. And like one of the first times he and I ever hung out after Kazi's was we went up to is it CNU right there next to Kazi's?
That's the college.
Yes. We went up there to try to pass out tickets, to just give out tickets.
Right.
Me and him hung out an entire day and we went around town just trying to give out tickets. And I went through all this headache of like giving out tickets. There was nobody at college because it was the summer. And I didn't realize, I'm like, oh yeah, they're out of school. There's nothing going on right now. So then we go to Patrick Henry and we're walking around the mall and I'm fucking passing out tickets to all these people in the mall. Hey, I'm doing a comedy show coming up. Here's tickets if you want to come out. Here's tickets if you want to come out. And leading up to it, I was so anxious for the entire night, right? Because it's like, well, I knew that I would have people from work show up. I knew that my friends from work would come out because they support and they wanted to come out and they wanted to be a part of it because they knew that it was like a thing.
Right.
And I'm like, all right, cool. I can pad the numbers a little bit with that part of the crowd. But then I got nervous because I'm like, well, I can't do crowd work on my friends. Like, I can't do crowd work on like, hey, what do you do? Where do you work? Blah, 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 blah. Like, what's, you know what I mean? Like, they would work for background last, but they don't work for the actual purpose of the show. It's different.
Right. You can't ask a million people and they all do what you do.
Exactly. So it was different, and that was where I felt really like backed into a corner, and that's where a lot of the anxiety running up to the whole day started to kick in, because it's like, it's different if I'm doing 45 minutes of jokes. It's different if I'm doing 45 minutes of an act.
Right.
Versus going up and doing 45 minutes of crowd work. I ended up that night doing 48 minutes on stage, and I had like a couple jokes that I had in my pocket sprinkled in that I'm like, these are jokes I like.
Right.
I'll put them in there just because I've already posted them online. If I burn them, whatever, and then they'll just be out in the atmosphere, like
Right.
associated with that final product. And I remember, like, dude, leading up to that day, I'm like, I'm getting closer and closer, and I'm like, I got all these people that I'm like, I know for a fact I've sold this many tickets. I know for a fact I've sold this many tickets. And getting closer to, I'm talking to all the homies, like, you know, you, Addison, whatever, and I'm like, I think I'll have like 40 people there. 40, 50 people. If I've got like 40, and, you know, like, there's people that are on the show that I'm not accounting for their,
Right.
you know, their friends, family, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Not accounting for anybody that sees it, walk up, whatever, any sort of publicity, production, whatever. And I remember like getting closer to him, like, I think I got like 40 or 50. If I have 50 people, I'll be happy. And then it gets closer and it goes up and up. And I'm like, I think I got 50 to 60 people. I'm like, I think I got 60 to 80 people. I'm like, I think I have at least 80 to 100, like 80 people, right? Day of, I'm like, I think there's going to be like 80 people here. And I'm like, because I did the math, like going up to it. I'm like, based on who'd paid me going into it, based on what I knew, what I could tell, based on what she told me my sales were prior, I'm like, I sold 60 tickets by myself, at least.
Right.
And then I show up, and I remember like seating people, doing all this shit, and I'm like running around, setting all this stuff up for the night. And it gets closer and closer to showtime, and the next thing I knew, it was full.
Yeah.
Like, we had standing room only. There was people at the bar, and we actually had to turn people away, which is nuts.
Right.
And that, like, it ended up being like over 130 people there, which was really wild.
And you didn't know like half of them.
Exactly.
That's cool.
I only knew like 30 or 40 people. Out of 130 people, I knew like 30 to 40 people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, damn, Like it was fucking like it was really cool. It was wild. It was a gnarly feeling, and I talked to our buddy David about it
Right.
because like after the fact, I'm like, man, like, yo, like, should I put this out? And he's like, dude, I don't think you should put it out unless you're like solid on it, like you're 100%. And I sat with Alvarado, and I went over the audio and like did all that stuff after the fact. And I just remember like there was so many moments in that night on stage where there was like just like applause break, big laugh, like there was a strong run there where it just felt like every single thing was just like bang 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 hitting super hard, that I'm like, I'm going to put it out. Why not? Like there's no point not to put it out.
Right.
And it's like you and I both, like we talk about it all the time. It's like I struggle very much with feeling like I'm playing pretend. And I came off stage that night and was like, I was on high, bro. Like
Right.
it was otherworldly, man. Like it was different.
It was a good show.
Yeah, I mean, like I don't ever like to be that way where it's like, any sort of ego or whatever, but like, dude, I came out of there like I could do this.
I mean, yeah, that was there. You did a good 48 minutes.
Yeah. Like not once did I feel like I lost anybody.
Right. 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 Right.
Like there's parts in it where it's like not every single second is filled with a laugh, but you can tell that it's like building towards like I'm getting conversation going, boom, big laugh. And it's like the gaps between it versus like where the pops are, where the big crunches are. I'm like, dude, I couldn't not put it together.
Right.
You
Right.
know? And I did it July 17th, and the goal was to put it out August 28th, which was my dad's birthday. So I'm like, yeah, we'll do this. We'll shoot it. That gives us a month to have it out, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And Alvarado said, like, one of the biggest things in this process was, why do you need to put it out by then? Like, why rush it?
It would have been rushed.
If you rush it, you'll be putting out a product that doesn't speak to what you want. It's not your final vision. You're just putting something out on a day because you want it out on that day.
That's fair.
And I was like, you know what? That makes sense. And I really started using that same approach with like the video stuff with Carlos. And honestly, like I think it really is for the best, because he and I there's been so much time between when we shot it and now. And it's like the tools that he has available, the things that he's learned between shooting that and shooting all these like music videos and
Right.
like doing all this other stuff with what he has at his disposal, it really changed and transformed into something more than just you're going to sit down, it's going to have an intro, and then it's going to play 40 something minutes of me on stage, and then whatever.
Right.
And me and him have talked about like the creative direction of where this whole project is going when everything is all said and done. Like I originally, when I was going to shoot like a 30-minute like just material only special,
Right.
I talked to a
Yeah.
buddy of mine, and their band gave me permission to use one of their a couple of their songs for the beginning and end of it.
That's cool.
So went back to that, and I'm like, all right, well, this is the song that we're going to use. We'll use that song to close out the special. So it's going to run from me coming off stage to this music. And like, it really has transformed into more than just like one thing.
Nice. So
And,
you're going to use their music for the beginning and the end?
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, the end is going to have the music. The beginning is going to be a little bit more of its own production.
It's going to be like, I used to pray for times like this and something, something, something. In back of the paddy wagon, cuffs locked on wrist. See my dreams unfold. Nightmares come true.
Keep going.
It was time to marry the game, and I said, yeah, I do.
Keep going.
If you want it, you gotta see it with a clear eye view. Woo! A shawty, she trying to bless me like I said I'd chew.
Woo.
Like I sneezed. He says the N-word. I can't do that part.
You don't.
He doesn't say like I sneezed. He says,
Like I chew.
like Nick sneezed.
Oh. Me.
Hang on.
What are you about to do?
Haven't been recording.
What?
Huh?
Really?
Yeah, I just had to press the record button.
Was it really not recording?
No, I just thought maybe I'd get a good reaction.
Oh, dude. Yeah. Funny story. This is the second time that we're doing all this.
Yes, it is.
I know. Because you're a fucking piece of shit.
I'm a
scumbag.
Yeah, dude.
Take an hour out of your day, Nick Deez. Come by and record this podcast. And we got 10 minutes of that. So we'll probably cut in. Well, I'm going to make it difficult for you. Cut in one funny thing from that other episode. We'll just put that into this somewhere.
I'll figure something out.
But yeah, no. So the introduction to the special now is going to be like its own thing. So when you watch that, it's going to be a production, and it's not going to just be me walking out on stage.
Right.
You and I talked about this earlier. I don't want to give up too much of it because I do kind of want to have part of it be like something that when people watch, they're like, oh, shit. But I invested a bunch of money into somebody to do something for the beginning, and I'm really excited for it.
That's gonna be cool.
I sent you some little snippets of it.
So even with like all the added stuff, I mean, I know you said it's 48 minutes. I guess
cut
like
out
the
a
whole.
few.
I was gonna say, I guess the whole 48 probably isn't gonna make the cut, but with everything else added in, what do you expect the runtime to be?
At least 45.
Oh, okay. I think that's a good amount of time, especially when you have things in there, because like let's be honest, man. People are stupid. They have a hard time sitting down to watch something unless you're like keeping their attention.
But here's the other thing too. So in the process, and this goes back to like Carlos being the GOAT, man. Like he and I've really like shaped this thing out.
He's making me an intro for this podcast.
I know.
And I don't know. I don't think it'll be ready by the first episode, but I mean, it's an intro. I'm gonna put out episodes and then make it better as a.
So here's the thing too. You and I have talked about this, but you could always like re-upload the videos for whatever with that intro attached. You would just lose however couple views you have on those videos when you put. You know what I mean? Like,
I'll probably just. I mean, I feel like if you
just put them out as they are.
I've had people tell me if you go back and watch like the first episodes of anyone's podcast, like they kind of suck.
Yeah, the quality's dog shit.
It's like
but yeah, so my idea for this like launch on it when it's finally finished and everything is I'm gonna put out the video as a whole on my YouTube channel and everything like that. But then I'm gonna congruently at the same time I'm gonna have Carlos go through and basically clip out everything that we can and have him run his magic on clips. So I'll have almost the entire thing clipped up for shorts and reels, and then all of it's gonna full special on YouTube. Full special on YouTube to direct traffic back to that platform.
It's good you've been getting kind of a little bit more traction on YouTube too, so that way you can like pre-build that following.
Yeah.
What are you at, like 500 or so subs on YouTube?
550, which isn't a lot, but it's gone up a lot recently.
It's just the same as all the other ones, Nick Deez comedy, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
My
Keeps it
Instagram's been I capitalized on one stupid video, and it pushed a lot towards TikTok. I got like 5,000 followers from one video on TikTok.
On TikTok, wow.
It hit like it's almost at 5 million views on TikTok, which is, I mean, it's cool, you know.
Yeah.
But that same video I posted on my Instagram, and it got me like at least like 1,200 followers on my Instagram.
That's great.
Because I'm closing in on like 3,500 right now, which like when you and I remember when we were talking about it like a while ago, I was like, I just want to hit 2,000. If I hit 2,000 by, I think it was like, I forget when. I think it was June.
I mean, if it took you from what, like 24 to 36, that's 50%.
Yeah.
That's a huge gain off one video.
That's what I'm saying. And it's like, I have been consistently posting stuff, even though like I've been struggling with the algorithm a lot lately, but it's like I'm posting stuff that I'm happy about.
Right. You should.
So it's like I'd rather have a catalog on my page where if people see it, it's good content
Right.
with lower numbers versus dog shit content with high numbers.
Yeah. I know we've talked about that a lot because I haven't been posting clips in really the last few months, but I want the break in posting clips to have value. So like when I get back to it, I want you to be able to look at like the new clips and the old clips and be like, wow, like this is a better comedian.
And that's the thing too, right? Is like, there's a lot of big comics talking about it right now is like people chasing the real, like people chasing the like,
right.
People are just chasing like a good laugh on stage to post it in a clip. Like I've seen comics on stage, they're like, oh, this is the clip. Like say it on stage, like, oh yeah, this is a clip right here.
I've recognized it when I'm on stage, but I don't say it out loud.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's like a weird thing to like.
It feels like you're taking away from that moment.
It takes the magic out of it. Where you're like, oh, I'm using this.
Like
dude.
This is so good, and you guys got to experience something so awesome. Everyone else will too.
Yeah, it's like, hey, just so you guys know, you're all gonna be in this by like Monday when I post it. You know what I mean? It's like,
yeah.
All right, sick.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, things have been going really fucking well lately, man. Like, the steam is on, like 100%. It feels really good to be in a position where it's like, I just hit my 5-year mark, and I couldn't be happier to be where I'm at in stand up right now.
Yeah, that's good.
For really once, good. Like I've been doing a lot of like personal therapy outside of like comedy shit, and it's like it's really carrying its weight over into stand up because it's like I've been having a lot of success with just simple stuff lately, man.
Right. What do you mean simple stuff? Like just like simpler reels or like just simple what?
Just like bookings and stuff like that. Like feeling good on stage. Like last night I did a benefit show.
Right.
I did a benefit show for the police officer that got shot.
For the feds.
Yeah. I felt like an op. But you know what? It was for a good cause, you know what I mean? So like I got asked to do it.
It is good, yeah.
And I showed up and they're like, yeah, so you got to be clean.
Oh, come on, man.
And I was like,
cops fuck each other. You don't have to be so clean. Some do. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, all it takes is like one mouth for like 7 or 8 dongs.
Yeah, so, one promiscuous
girl.
Yeah. They called in on the radio and said, we got a Caucasian female, 5'6". She needs to get dicked down by multiple
dicks.
cocks. Yeah, 5 to 6 dicks.
Yeah. Well, we got a code 69 back at the precinct.
Yo, I know those codes, man. I used to have like a police scanner. You got time for a story?
Oh, let me also.
All right,
we could do a story, but yeah. So the fucking dude,
I'll ramble.
That show last night was crazy, and I was like super stressed out because I'm freaking out before the show. I'm like, I got to do 20 minutes clean. Don't say shit. Like, don't like. I asked our buddy John Gilbreth. I asked him about a joke. I'm like, do you think I can get away with doing this joke? It's a joke about sex. He's like, I wouldn't do it. I'm like, fuck. All right. So the room, John goes up.
Jesus.
And dude, so it's a fundraiser for a cop that got shot in the line of duty.
Yeah.
The room is divided. So there's people on the left, people on the right at the bar, and the middle section. And the whole middle's just talking over John. They're giving him nothing. And they're like,
they were cops?
Yeah, cops affiliates, family, whatever.
Makes
blah,
you
blah,
wish
blah.
one of them got shot, huh? No. I'm sorry. Shots fired.
Dude, that joke was DOA. Damn.
All right, my bad.
At a certain point, John went full like full grown up on them to a room full of like 150 people where about like 70 or 80 of them were talking loud as shit to each other. He goes, hey, keep it down. Tune it down. Tune it down. Tune it down. Bring it down. Dude, he goes, I'll do this all goddamn night. Y'all be quiet.
He cussed at them.
He called it, dude. He said, "Bitch, I know you hear me."
He said that? Damn, dude. Gilbert is an OG, man.
So I'm just like, I'm sitting here, I'm terrified. I'm like, oh God. I'm like, the room is like not, dude, they're not having it. They don't care about the comedy part. They're there to donate and help, whatever. So John's like doing the best he can. And he's like, all right, you ready for your next comic? And I'm like, fuck, dude, I'm going to go up here and eat shit. And like I go up, I start doing a little bit of jokes here and there. And at a certain point, I'm like,
here and there. What else were you doing?
here, there, and everywhere.
Okay.
Yeah.
Proceed.
Okay. But at a certain point, dude, I won over like the whole left side and I had the whole right side. And it was just that middle of people that were talking that really didn't like care or give me much. And the next thing I knew, like I was doing crowd work and bouncing around, and then I would go into a joke. Crowd work, bounce around, do a joke. At a certain point, I was talking to just this side because I felt like I lost here. But then I would go back over here, and I had everybody on. And the next thing I know, John gave me the light, and the 20 minutes was up, and I was like,
so you feel like you were working the whole time?
dude, I felt like I was working.
Man.
Like literally, I just felt like I was working the room over and over, just like taking it, like just going as hard as I could. And honestly, I got some like really good pops, and it felt so good. And like the cool part, so we kind of talked about it in the group chat, but like all the comics got paid. We all just donated our money back to like to the cause, because you know what I mean. It's like I showed up having been booked on a benefit, thinking like I'm not gonna get paid for this, like
Right.
And it's like, dude, things have been going so well lately that it's like I could take one for the team. You know what I mean? Like, so I walked.
That's what that officer did.
I know. I walked back inside. Well, I also like felt guilted into it because both the grown-ups on the show donated their money back.
I'm talking about the female cop, not the one that got shot.
Oh yeah, she took a few to the chest,
Yeah, she took 7 from the team
to the throat.
All right, my bad.
But I walk back into the lady and I'm like, here, you guys can have this. I was like, I don't need it. And I went, honestly, like, no one's ever shot at me at my job. And I was like, it's okay. Y'all just take this.
You said that?
Yeah.
Dude, that's worse than anything I said in the last 10 minutes.
No, it's not.
You said no one's ever shot at me before. Here you go.
I said, no one's ever shot at me at my job. I said, here, you just donate this back to the family.
You should have just said thank you for your service or something.
No, that's dumb. That's dumb.
Dude, no one's ever shot
But,
at me at my job.
Dude, the sheriff, the
Jesus.
sheriff came up to me and he he looked at me and he goes, you're a funny motherfucker. You know that? And I went, thank you, sir. And then he fucking shook my hand. And he's like, God. He's like, you fucking.
It was a firm handshake, wasn't it?
Yeah, he's law enforcement.
Did it hurt?
It'd be so funny if he had a bitch ass handshake. And I'm like,
Yeah, for
dude,
sure.
I'd run off on you. You pull me over. I'm fucking speeding off.
Yeah, for sure.
No, but it was a really fun experience, like overall. So it's like things like that, little wins where I'm like, this feels good. What's your story?
I just used to do shit and listen to my police scanner and wait for them to get a call about it. Not like hood rat shit, but if there was like if someone like put their like, I don't know, couch out in the road, I'll go put it out in the road.
And then listen to the scanner?
Yeah, and they're like, we got a 1046, 2 trash bags and a love seat in the middle of the road. Go sit there in the woods and watch them.
Dude, you really are
watch
the
them
most
pull up with
autistic
like 2 to
person I
3
know.
cop cars and move this couch out of the road.
Yo, I tell you what, last night
funny.
when I was on my way back from the show, I was like on the highway and there was like, I thought the road was closed. I counted there was 13 cop cars and there was just one car that they had pulled over on the side of the road.
Nice.
And I was like, oof, this bitch about to get fucked.
Yeah.
Dude, it was brutal. Shit stressed me out.
What you didn't pull up and see what's up?
No, I tried, but
You weren't like, what's happening?
my tags are expired from July, actually.
Nice, dude. You got me beat. My tags, not my tags, but my
My registration is fucking way
inspection
expired.
October. License October.
Like your driver's license?
Yeah, dude.
It's a miracle that
I've
either
been
of us
driving.
drive to shows at all.
4 miles over the speed limit instead of 7 lately.
Bullshit.
Yeah, no, I go fast.
Yeah, you do.
I use Waze.
For a guy that's so slow, you go really fast.
Show me the Waze. Yeah, dude. I am, you know,
From the ways back.
you can't spell speed without sped. Man. Yeah.
Spetty Gonzalez.
That's me. I'm Spetty Gonzalez. I follow the sped limit.
You special ops.
Yeah, dude.
Sped ops.
Yeah, instead of spec ops, sped ops.
I was going to say something different because you're Hispanic, but I'm not allowed to say it.
Oh, I know what you were gonna say. No, I don't think I know what you were gonna say. What was it?
You're a good guy.
Oh, that's good. That's really nice of you, because most people just say I'd be in like spec ops or something.
That would have never crossed my mind.
No,
No.
I didn't think you. You know, you give money back to cops. You'd never think a way about minorities.
Yeah.
Fucking.
Dude, I tell you what,
I brought you on here to get canceled ahead of your special.
Dude, I know. You just tag the special at the end of it. Just put my whole special at the end of this episode. It'd be all right.
Oh, just make it like a 2-hour long podcast.
Mm-hmm. See who stays till the end. What a cocksucker. He puts out one episode of his fucking podcast. It's 2 hours long.
Yeah, and it's got a special from someone else in it.
Dude, how funny would that be, though?
You can hear my laugh in the background. I'm in it.
Yeah, you're in it. Blaha's in it. Dude.
He's got
Oh,
such a
man.
distinct laugh, dude. George is awesome.
Yeah, between him and Gabe
Gabe?
Popescu from
Yeah,
Richmond,
you
they
spelled his
both-
name right. He would appreciate that.
I know. I didn't spell it right. I said it right.
Yeah, but you
Popescu. Peepescu.
yeah, dude.
Peepescu.
Pew pew pew.
Gabe. Pew pew pew. Pew pew pew.
Yeah, dude.
Dude, I got to see George over the weekend, which was fucking rad.
That's cool. When I hit him up, he was already back on. He was hanging out at Kazi's, so I was hungry, man. I had to get some food.
Dude, I know you saw Chris Rock, but you missed a good show.
Yeah.
That show was fun. And that venue is so fucking cool, man. Like,
I bet.
my buddy
It
Grant,
looked good.
yeah, my buddy Grant really like looked out for us and put something really cool together for it. It was a lot of fun. That venue's super nice. And it was cool to like be in the back of a like it's an actual theater, bro. Like I was on stage and I'm like, damn, this is cool. Like this is cool.
Was he happy with how everything turned out? I know you mentioned he wanted to do more stuff, so that's good.
He goes, dude, I realize why we've been struggling to sell tickets, man. Chris Rock is down the block.
Dude, yeah, literally like 2 blocks away, because I looked it up and I was like, oh, dude, I don't even have to like pay to park twice. I can walk out of the Chrysler Hall and go to Granby Theater. I think he did a good job selling 100 tickets on a night Chris Rock was walking distance
That's
away.
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, literally, you could stand outside and hear Chris Rock or walk down and
They said that show sold so well, they added another one for the next night. That
Yeah.
was a Saturday, and then they
Yeah.
added another one on Sunday.
yeah,
It was
That's
good,
nuts.
man. His new hour's good.
dude. But yeah, that show was fun, man. It was cool, and yeah, he wants to do it monthly, so we're gonna end up with a monthly showcase at the Granby Theater.
That's super cool.
Um,
You'll host it.
Yeah, or I'll just do spots on it
Okay.
and then like let other people. I'll probably just host it just to
Okay.
make it easy, so I can kind of control the,
Right.
you know. I don't want
Hosting's
to let
fun.
quality go for one reason or another. Not
Right.
that I don't think that like anybody that I would put on would not. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, yeah, that's the goal, man. Like,
That's super cool. Honestly, just having another spot. I know we were talking about like when I run the Poor Girl shows and stuff like that. Like having something every other month is nice. And I feel like it always turns out well because I have 2 months to prepare for every show.
have you
know?
thought about doing something the adjacent month?
You know, it probably wouldn't be a bad idea. I'd
Just at a different venue.
Yeah, and I'd probably try to not do it in Hampton so that way I can kind of keep that audience for those shows.
Mhm.
And I really just, I don't know. I think I've just been like so happy with the Poor Girl shows. Like I know that I know the chance of me because I had to run an open mic that kind of struggled a bit, and then I found Poor Girls on my second attempt at running a show, I guess. And it's just been like that place has just been like a home run for me, honestly.
Yeah.
So I guess I'm kind of nervous because I know that like I feel like I got kind of lucky with finding a great venue like that works with me as well as they do, because
You should look into buying lights for it.
I'm
So
gonna
that you
use
can,
Gilbreth's lights on the next one just to kind of get a feel for it.
that's what I'm saying. You have them turn those lights off up there,
Yeah,
and then you just get stage lights.
yeah,
It
it's
would
gonna make
almost
a
be
big difference.
it would almost be to your benefit to get like a backdrop or something too.
Right,
Like look at how Dwayne White from Northern Virginia, he's got a backdrop, he's got stage and everything.
right. I
You
mean,
can-
it's definitely a more professional setup. Well, yeah. I mean, I guess I could just go ahead and kind of put the money into it, but
That's
goddamn,
literally
it's
like-
expensive to do the stuff right.
Yeah, but we were literally talking about this earlier.
I know.
The amount of money that I put into this special now is like I have no choice but to commit and be like, that's how I want it to be.
Right.
And that's like goes back to like the idea of rushing it. It's like, yeah, why? If it, you know what I mean? Why put out something at 60% when I could put it out at,
Right.
a level that I'm like, this is what I wanted.
Right. Yeah, I agree. Especially when you're having something. I mean, 100. I know it applies to like shows too, but especially when you're doing like a special that you're gonna put out, and this is supposed to be on the internet for good.
Yeah.
Dude, yeah. The last thing you want to do is a week after it's up, be like, damn, I wish I would have done this. Just do
Yep.
all that.
It also feels like part of me is like I went into it saying like I wanted to at 5 years, which is where I'm at now. Granted, I did that prior to hitting my 5-year mark. It's like at 5 years, I was like, I want to have an album out.
Right.
It's like that is a thing that I can have forever attached to my name and be like, yeah, I did that.
Do you find yourself when you're going through like the editing? I mean, I know like a lot of the editing for the audio and things like that has really been wrapped up, right?
Yeah, the audio is pretty much done.
Do you find yourself being like super just peculiar with it and like, I don't know, kind of like a perfectionist, and it
Yeah.
just makes shit take a long time
Yeah.
because you're sitting
That's
there
why
listening.
it's taken as long as it
Yeah.
has, because it's like I don't want to just settle now.
Right. And it's tough because I feel like the more you listen to anything, the more you can be like, man, I wish it was like, oh, just cut it. And there's like, no, well, I don't want it. You know what I mean?
I'm also very particular about it too. I'm treating that with the same approach that I treat all my other
Right.
clips and videos. It's
Right.
like if it's not a strong enough laugh, I'm like, I'm struggling to be like, should it be in there or no?
Yeah, you don't want to put a joke that bombs on your special.
There's like there's one thing that I told Carlos, I'm like, we should just put that at the end as like a blooper from it, where it's like I look at a guy up front, I go, what do you do? He's like, this guy across the room goes, he's a math teacher. And I go, how do you know that? He goes, he was my math teacher. I go, did you fuck him?
Dude, did he?
I go, oh, did you fuck him? And he goes, no. I said something, but I'm like, did you give him an A? He goes, I was like, did you get an A? He goes, no. I went, probably because you wouldn't fuck him.
Yeah, because you didn't give him the D.
But it was like a thing that it was just so stupid and goofy that like it's not like a big like laugh or like anything that really like draws you any further into the special.
Yeah.
But it's just so goofy that I'm like, I just want to put that at the end.
Right.
Because I go, oh man, I gotta know, man. I've been watching this porn all week.
Right.
So I told Carlos, I'm
You've
like,
been
let's
watching
move that.
dudes get fucked by their dude math teacher?
I just thought it was funny. Somebody said you know what somebody said to me last night? Barry said it. No, not last. It was the other night. It was at Longboard. So on Sunday, Barry, when we were at Longboards, goes. We were talking about something on stage, and he goes, "I'll be honest with you, man." He was like, "You're the only comic in this area that I've seen go up and consistently offer to fuck dudes on stage."
There you go.
And I went, "Yeah, it's funny. I think it's funny." I'm like, I think it's really funny, and it's a funny, goofy way to break the ice. Like, I'm not gay,
Yeah.
and it's like, I just think it's funny to be like, oh, that guy's hot as shit. I'm gonna fuck that guy after the show. because it's an icebreaker. It's goofy.
Yeah. You break something.
That hymen.
Break one off in his ice.
Break your guyman.
Yeah, dude. That's fucking. Well, I guess it's not gross anymore.
Fuck you. Cancel.
No.
Yes,
I'd love to see it. If you fucked a dude, I'd watch. With my eyes closed.
Gay.
What do you mean?
I don't know.
I don't know. I maybe I'll just cut that out. Probably won't though. I probably won't.
It's all right.
It's gonna be what? It's gonna be about an hour and a half long.
What, the episode?
Yeah, something like that.
Well, it's only because it's gonna have my special at the end of it.
Yeah, I'll probably cut the episode. I'll cut the episode down to about 30 minutes. Put about an hour long. Yeah. Do you have any idea when it's gonna come out? I mean, like I guess you don't know an exact date right now, but what are you shooting for?
It's February now. It would be nice to have it out by like April, at the latest.
April?
Yeah. Part of me is like, I could just wait till this is like really dark and morbid, but I'm like, I could put it out the day my dad died,
Yeah.
which is May, but it's like, then I've been sitting on it almost for an entire year.
Right. I mean, how much earlier than May is April?
It's really not, yeah. So we're already in February.
You do like April 1st.
Yeah, April 1st would be nice.
All right. You
What
heard
day-
it here,
what-
folks.
what
He's
day
dropping his special on November 16th.
Yeah, buddy. What day of the week is?
April 1st is a Saturday because I have a show at Poor Girls that day.
Oh, it is a Saturday.
We always do Fridays. They told me because they said something about like the first week in April. And I was like, well, if you guys don't have that Saturday booked, it'd be super cool to do an April Fool's show. That's the one I have Donna headlining and Ryan's going to feature.
That's rad.
Bro, that is going to be an April Fool's treat for the folks. I might as well plug that on here because this episode's not going to be out by February 10th when we do the other show.
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah. All right. Well, I
I had
mean,
to check my calendar.
yeah.
I got sidetracked.
Check your calendar.
Blah, blah, blah.
Do you want to say anything to the folks or anything like that? I think
Hmm.
we're probably at around about a good time to wrap up.
All right, cool. Yeah. Yeah, my special, Tell Me More. It's a crowd work special. It'll be on my YouTube channel, at Nick Deez Comedy. My Instagram's at Nick Deez Comedy. All platforms, it's the same thing, so it's easy to find me. But that'll be coming soon. I'll have the video version up for a while. I'm probably going to ride that out for like a month or so and then put out and release the audio version to
Right.
buy. I'll put it out on like everything, so like Spotify, iTunes, whatever.
You should put it on a thumb drive and sell it. I think that'd be a really good idea.
I'd rather put it on a pinky drive.
Yeah. You should put it on a middle finger drive.
I'll put it on a floppy disk.
Yeah. A sloppy disk
Put that shit on 8-track.
on a sloppy toppy disk.
Gurgle, gurgle. Yeah, no. So at Nick,
I'm so shitty.
at Nick, at Nick Deez Comedy on all platforms. It should be coming soon, and I really think that it's gonna be fun, regardless of how many people see it.
Yeah.
In the grand scheme of things, if it gets like a few thousand views, cool. If it hits, whatever, I'll be happy about it.
I think if you get a few thousand views on something that's 45 minutes long, that's good on a channel with 500 subscribers.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the big thing is going to be like, I mean, it's just opinion, but I think the big thing is going to be like having good clips from that, or like even like if you have good outtakes that don't make the special, but are still like funny, kind of whatever, in their own way, like you could post it and like, blooper or outtake from the special, link back. Everything just links back to the special on every platform.
And that's the goal, right? Is to like have one hand really wash the other when it comes to feeding back into and funneling into the actual special,
Right.
So it'll be nice. It'll be cool once it's out. And then the next thing, once I put that out, the goal this year is going to be to shoot like a 30-minute crowd works. Not crowd work, a written, yeah, like an actual 30-minute special. I'll be doing that this year.
Okay.
And then me and Carlos are gonna use 2 cameras this go.
How many did you use for the other one?
Just the one.
Oh,
It was
You
all
didn't
shot.
record it with
One shot.
multiple mics, one camera.
Yep.
I gotcha. So you're gonna have like a stationary camera and one that moves?
Yeah.
Is that what you're thinking? Okay.
I think so. Now it's all right, man. Fuck. Don't karate chop it. I don't want to get wet.
It would be so funny. I can't, but it'd be
Still
so
dropped
funny.
it. That's 3 times I dropped it every time. Now it's just a matter of like really like it would just be like trying to scope out like a cool venue to shoot it at. I didn't close it all the way, buddy. Fuck you, bitch.
All right, that's just go ahead and we'll cut it there. This has been episode 1 of the Ant Hill, and that's
Pussy boys rockin'.
yep. Bussy's been bopping today.
Tweak yo thing.
All right, well, yep.
Check out the Patreon. Bye.
Bye.